Hi guys, what's up? Tori here. So I'm here today to do my 36-week pregnancy update. I am 36 weeks and 3 days today. Today's date would be Tuesday, November 17th of 2020. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into all the updates. So first off, we'll do updates with baby and where she should be at developmentally wise. At this point, her digestive system is the only major system yet to fully develop, and actually that does not fully develop until after she is born and she eats her first food, because that is her digestive system's first time like taking in actual food and like trying to function for the first time. So that's like when it actually develops is when it actually becomes fully developed. And then the only other thing really that she's still working on is putting on the weight in pounds and stuff, and hopefully she's doing that the way she should be, because if you've been watching me, you know that that's been a concern throughout my pregnancy. And then according to my app, baby should be around close to 19 inches and 6 pounds right now. Obviously my baby is not that big. Lengthwise she could be that length, but weight wise she's definitely not probably anywhere near 6 pounds yet, I would think. But they approximate her to be about the size of a papaya at this point. But my baby is probably not quite that big because she has been running small. Updates with me, really nothing new like pregnancy symptom wise or anything like that. The only major thing like I guess I can say is definitely I feel much like harder and heavier down lower lately, and she definitely I think gives me the occasional like I think she's sitting lower because I think she definitely gives me the occasional like crotch punch, like because there have been times where it could be what they call lightning crotch too, where I've had moments where it's like I'll just be like going about my business and all of a sudden like my crotch area will like I feel like this like real quick like sharp shooting like hit pain, and it's just like whoa, what is that? And it literally lasts like 2 seconds. Like it's not anything like crazy, but it's just like it hits and it's like ha, like that hurts, and it's like like I said, it comes and goes like in an instant. So it's either her like hitting me down there, or it could be what they call lightning crotch too. But definitely have noticed that a few times lately, and just in general I feel like she's definitely more lower, and she's still head down and all that too, because like whenever like I feel her feet and stuff, I always feel her feet up here. Like she's definitely still head down and all that, but yeah. So other than that, like I'm still just tired. I still have nasty varicose veins. I definitely run out of steam very easily. This past weekend I tried to get some like freezer meals made and was also working on packing the hospital bag and stuff. I did not finish because I just completely ran out of steam, because like I got the house pretty clean first, and then when I went to work on the meals, it was like I started working on the meals and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm completely running out of steam. Like I can't keep going. Like I'm getting way too exhausted. So it's like I just kind of finished up the meals I was working on and then just called it quits, and I was like, I'll do the rest of these meals another day because I'm just too tired right now. I cannot finish. So I definitely noticed that if I am like really busy doing stuff, I do run out of steam very quickly, and I'm definitely so ready to have my more normal energy levels back. I mean, obviously I know I'm going to be tired a lot after she's here anyway, because you know, a newborn, but still it'll be nice to like have more of my actual body energy, I guess, back is a way to put it, and not just like tired because I'm growing a human kind of thing. So yeah. But then other updates going on, other appointments I've had since my last video I've had 2 other NSTs, and I've also had another ultrasound, and things I were fine with the ultrasound. I did not get any calls or anything from my doctor saying that there was any concerns or anything, because I did the ultrasound locally here instead of going out to Grand Rapids. Like they didn't do things like as super detailed here than they do there. So like they weren't like telling me things as I was going and telling me like where she was at and all that, and they sent me the report later. But I definitely am thinking that the way, because their equipment too isn't quite as high tech as their stuff over there is, I definitely am not quite sure how accurate like their measurements and stuff of her were, so I'm really not going by what they came up with. So, and I mean, there was no concerns because I didn't get any calls from my doctor, so everything was fine with that. And her last two NSTs, she's been fine. She was a little more stubborn last Thursday because she was actually sleeping during that NST because like her heart rate just was like staying steady in one zone and wasn't doing the fluctuations that they like to see. So yeah, that was a little bit more annoying. So they had to like turn me on my side and have me drink water and stuff to kind of get her awake and moving and actually doing more. And once as soon as they did that, she started doing that and she was totally fine. Like there was no issues or anything. So totally fine there. And I had an NST yesterday and everything was fine there. I was supposed to see my OB today, but he wasn't in the office, so I ended up seeing the nurse practitioner instead. But she just did the little group B swab and just asked me if I had any, like, and she measured me and like checked baby's heartbeat and all that. Like, no concerns today there. And I have another NST this coming Thursday, and then actually my biggest appointment will be on Friday. That is when I go back out to maternal fetal medicine, and they will do another growth ultrasound and they will check everything one more time. And this will probably be my last, this actually will be my last trip out to maternal fetal. And based on where things are at with her, that will be the determining factor of when they schedule my induction. If for whatever reason her growth has slowed way down or they find some other issue, they will probably induce me sometime within the next week. But if everything looks good, they will wait until I hit the 38-week mark, and it'll be like when I'm in between the 38 and 39 week zone. It'll be definitely before I hit 39 weeks. Like I'll be around 38 weeks when they schedule me to be induced, but it'll be before 39 weeks for sure they induce me. So it'll be like in the week, so the week of like November 30th and that like first week of December, it'll be somewhere in there for sure that they'll schedule me to be induced unless they find other issues. So this Friday is for sure when I will find out when they will be planning on scheduling that. So definitely will update you guys in my next video with all of that. And then the other thing I want to update on is I have officially am going to be starting my maternity leave soon. And initially I was going to work up until like the day before her induction. Like I was just going to keep working, but I have changed my mind. I'm sure things are different in different states right now with the whole COVID situation. But in the state of Michigan, the cases have been rising like mad. And throughout the whole pandemic, like I have not been one that's been overly concerned or overly afraid of COVID or anything like that. Like I've still been living my life like as normally as possible, while still like being smart and safe and all that, obviously, but still been just trying to live my life and all that. Like it's not like I've been quarantining or anything. Obviously, I've still been working like since my work opened back up and all that. But because the COVID cases are rising so bad, Michigan is actually kind of taking steps backwards in a way. Like for the next 3 weeks, like restaurants and stuff are closing again. Like there's certain things like to try to like reduce gatherings, pretty much is what the state of Michigan is doing right now for the next like 3 weeks. So, and because the cases are like rising so bad, and like I know there's actually been some of my like extended family members that I haven't seen in like an eternity that have had it and or currently are dealing with it. None of them have had it like bad where like they've had to be hospitalized or anything like that, but and hospitals around here are getting overrun again and things like that. Like, and because of that, my hospital, I know all hospitals again do things different, but my hospital does it where if you are going in for a scheduled procedure of some kind where you're going to be staying in the hospital, they have you get a COVID test ahead of time just to make sure you don't have COVID. And then like that way, if you do, like they either like reschedule you, or I mean, obviously in my case, they can't reschedule me because I'm having a baby, but like, or they will take like different precautions. And one of those things they do is if they test a pregnant mother and she comes back positive, they separate the baby from the mother after the baby is born. And I have just decided that I don't want to risk that. I don't, even if I'm completely asymptomatic and totally fine and I end up coming back positive, that would suck. Like, especially everything I've already gone through with this pregnancy, like that would probably be something that would just like totally tip me over the edge. Would be getting through all of this, finally having her, finally getting her here, and then being separated from her because I've tested positive. And I just decided I want to limit my exposure to COVID by just a little bit. And honestly, the one place I go where I'm exposed to it the most is at work, because I am a lead preschool teacher for a child care program. So yeah, like that is the place, and I do it, and I am, our center is in a school, so because of that, like I'm surrounded by people like all the time, and so like that's the place, like the number one place that I'm at every single day, where I am at most chance of coming in contact with somebody with it and potentially getting it. So I've decided I want to limit my exposure, and I'm going to be starting my maternity leave earlier than I intended. So because next week, with being Thanksgiving week, what I've decided is I'm finishing off this week of work, and then next week we are actually only open 2 days next week because of Thanksgiving. We are closed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I will work Monday and Tuesday next week, finish off this week and work Monday and Tuesday next week, and then I am choosing to be done after that and not work at all that following week, which is fine because it's going to be sometime in that following week that I end up being induced anyway. So it's fine, and I also have lots of PTO that I can use up my PTO, because the way my work does things too is for maternity leave, I'm given actually a 6-week, they actually call it a short-term disability leave. So I'm given 6 weeks of paid time off for a short-term disability leave is what they call it, which that will kick in pretty much the day she's born. So like I would just tell them like, hey, and actually they said because I'm being induced, it'll be the day of my induction. So HR pretty much just told me like, well, just tell us the day, like as soon as you have a day that you're going in to be induced, like tell us when that day is, and we'll start your pay then. And then, you'll start your 6-week time off. And I'm actually allowed up to 12 weeks with FMLA, but only 6 of those weeks are going to be paid. So, how much I take off after the 6 weeks will just kind of be based on how I'm feeling and where life is at and that kind of thing. And prior to when she's born, I'm just going to use up my PTO because I still have a bunch of PTO. So that's kind of what I've decided. And I've just said that this is just the best thing for me and my baby. And I've talked with Matt about it, and he agrees. I've talked with some other family members and even my own coworkers, and they say, it probably is what is best. So that is just kind of what I have decided there. And it was not an easy decision to come to. Trust me, I've had my prego hormone tears over it, but because I do love my work and love my kids, and I wanted to stay as long as I could, but just with where things are at, this is just kind of the way it has to go. And I am fully planning on returning to work after my maternity leave is over, because for one, I love my job and I love going to work and love my kiddos and my coworkers and all that. But financially too, my husband and I need it. We need for me to continue to work after she's born. So after my maternity leave is up, I fully plan on returning to work. So I look forward to seeing them all again. But the fact that I am cutting my time a little bit shorter than I thought I was going to be is sad, but I just feel like it is what is best and safest for me to do. So that is kind of like the biggest update with things. And then as far as everything else goes, like I have a hospital bag started, I should say. I have a hospital bag started for Matt and I. Baby girl's hospital bag, like diaper bag and stuff is all set to go. Like she's pretty much ready for the hospital and coming home and all of that. I just have to finish putting together mine and Matt's bag for the hospital. And then her nursery is actually totally ready now. I fully plan on doing a nursery tour really soon as I get the chance. Again, that was something I was going to attempt to do over the weekend and just ran out of time and energy, and yeah. But I do have intentions of getting it done as soon as possible, doing a nursery tour for you guys. And I might even do like a little hospital bag, like what I packed kind of video too, maybe. So that is all coming, but we are down to crunch time. Definitely only like 2 weeks away, not even hardly, or like a week and a half, just depending on when exactly I'm scheduled. But baby girl will be here really soon, and I'm so excited and so ready for the journey and to begin being a mom. So welcoming her into the world. So that is all the updates for this video that I have. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and show you my 36-week baby bump. So go ahead and move you guys back a little bit so you can see. So this is with the shirt down. This work shirt like literally is on its last legs. Like this particular work shirt barely still works on me. But yeah, so this is facing forward, to the side, and to the side, and then with the shirt up, facing forward, to the side. Definitely still not really a popped belly button, just continuing to kind of stretch, but facing forward, and then to this side. So sorry the lighting's a little more wacky, it's darker out, but to the side, and then to the side. So yeah, there's my 36-week belly. I never ever imagined that I would have such a nice, like, round, perfect, cute little baby bump, but I do. Like, I never imagined I'd be able to have that, especially because, you know, I was overweight for so long and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's kind of cool to have just a nice little normal baby bump, but yeah. So that is everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.